This is Bora Erdamar, Assistant Professor of Economics at Bahçeşehir University, and also the founding director of Blockchainist Center, which is the first university research center on blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies. So today, in this very little time of 15 minutes, I will try to show you the evolution path of cryptocurrency ecosystem. And of course, it will cover some basic milestones from the history of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, but I mean, you can be comfortable that we will briefly discuss about the statistics, briefly discuss about indeed the numbers which are taking the snapshot of what's going on and maybe what will be the new hype in the ecosystem in the near future. So to start with, I will also make references to this slide, and at the end of my talk, I mean, you see and you hear lots of debates now, especially in these days, about the essential needs for Bitcoin, because for many people, it was also described as a kind of hedge mechanism for inflation. And there was too much expectation about also the pricing of Bitcoin. And people were expecting that since we are now in the inflationary times, then Bitcoin's price should be actually much, much higher. But this slide, and actually the forthcoming one as well, together they show us the essential need for crypto. And also actually many fintech applications will stay there actually forever with an increasing need. Because this statistics shows us that, this is from BIS, Bank of International Settlements. I mean, and this is actually old still, but it shows that we have 1.7 million adult population in the world who are not in the banking system. This makes more sense when we see this. 2/3 of this 1.7 billion people, they have their smartphones, which means that actually the population is somehow more digitalized than banked. So there are, of course, many reasons why this population is unbanked. I mean, some of the reasons are starting from a preference, but also some bureaucratic reasons, but also ineligibility to be in the banking system. So the need and the market all for the crypto and for all digital systems, including fintech applications, is actually out there. And that is the main reason why actually, although many people are in panic mode right now, if the crypto is scam, if Bitcoin is dying, etc., I mean, they should focus on this instead. I mean, this statistics shows us that if Bitcoin were a company, it will be the 25th largest company in terms of its market cap. So that's why we discuss a lot about it. That's why we are here. That's why it is actually not an issue of, is it dying or is it a scam or something like that. I mean, we are so far from that. We should focus on other things. And as you know, in the evolutionary path of the crypto ecosystem, in 2015, things changed a lot. Because although Bitcoin was focusing on like replacing the cash system, so Ethereum had then another main idea. It was digitalizing kind of every business, starting from the banking system, of course. And as you know, this year, now, proof of stake is the main thing for Ethereum, and you can easily check the numbers for staking rewards, etc., about Ethereum. And after Ethereum, like 3 years ago, we had a new movement, which is decentralized finance, as you know, and many people, again, know it through its staking APRs, yielding mechanisms, etc. But everyone should be also very careful that the motto of decentralized finance is striking enough. Because the motto of decentralized finance is this, basically. Banks may not be needed, but banking system is actually needed. Which means, in other words, we don't need the banks, but we actually need the financial instruments, which can be transferred to the DeFi ecosystem throughout smart contracts without the need of any third parties. And this is one striking number for us. I mean, now, considering that there are no third parties, there are no centralized stuff in decentralized finance, the total value locked reached more than $40 billion. And 3 years ago, we were kind of talking about DeFi summer. Many people were interested in that. The hype was there. But then, of course, due to the volatilities, due to the also the hacking issues or exploits in the DeFi protocols, the numbers together with the market cap of cryptocurrencies in total, we had seen a decline. But things are seeming to change again, which in the end of the talk, we will show the new numbers and new results. But for the ones who are still not very well aware of it, please check these 5 protocols: MakerDAO, Lido, Aave, Uniswap, and Curve. So this is the change now. This is the locomotive of change, actually. Of course, all of the other instruments that I will try to cover within the remaining 9 minutes, they are very important for the crypto ecosystem, but something else is going on. Without understanding what's going on in these protocols, actually, you will be like without the light for understanding the future of the crypto ecosystem. And then, of course, we have seen NFTs, the rise of NFTs. Everyone talked about NFTs. It is quite important because many institutions, many firms, the actors from traditional finance, the monopolistic companies, everyone started to talk about NFTs. And it is surprising to note and to observe that sometimes they forgot that it is crypto as well. I mean, we have seen lots of statements from bureaucrats, from politicians, I mean, in line with this message. Oh, crypto is risky, but NFTs are good. I mean, we are not very comfortably encouraging the usage of cryptocurrencies, but NFTs are different. I mean, come on, by definition, it is token, right? Non-fungible token. So it is good, actually, to start your journey to crypto system beginning from the NFTs, because maybe they are, since they are visual mainly, it is with the assumption that visual things understood easier than the abstract stuff. Crypto is abstract in many sense, I admit that. It is complicated, especially the DeFi ecosystem. To understand it, to use the platforms, protocols there, it requires some effort. On the other hand, for NFTs, everything's are much easier to get, use. Still, there are some barriers there for entry, but once you get it, I mean, we have seen the phenomena, we have seen the hype of NFTs. It still continues, probably together with the Facebook's effect, which I will also discuss briefly, after the metaverse. So many people just forgot about NFTs, and with the hype of metaverse, everyone was investing in metaverse without sometimes knowing why, right? And these numbers are showing us another stuff. As you see, the red one is about gaming. So this is important to understand, again, the evolutionary path of crypto, because gaming industry is on its own big enough and strong enough to change the world, to change and influence our preferences. It will be another presentation, actually, to understand the evolutionary path of the gaming industry, but I'm sure that all of you feel it at least, right, if you are not already playing those games. So I will say, like, the marriage of gaming industry with crypto is probably preparing the next hype or preparing the next movement in the crypto ecosystem, although it will not be just focused on NFTs as the numbers show us here. So then, so far we had discussed about the essentially decentralized systems, right? Crypto, by definition, should be decentralized. That's why I would like to emphasize the countries' central banks' currency, digital currency projects with this emphasized phrase. They are digital currencies. They cannot be cryptocurrencies. So this is important distinction, but many people, especially from the traditional media, might be confused about the usage of these words, because they think that when the central banks arrange or prepare their digital currencies, it might be like a replacement of crypto. Not at all. I mean, it cannot be. They are not by definition, in the crypto ecosystem. That is another ecosystem. I will just say that they are inspired by the cryptocurrencies and the communities and the people and the interest on that crypto. But of course, the traditional banking system, traditional monetary system should be updated. Since 2008, everyone actually knows that by heart. Because the biggest monopolies in the monetary system is, by definition, central banks, right? So the production of money, production of fiat currency, it cannot be decentralized as long as we are talking about fiat currencies. But it can be updated, it can be more dynamic, and that's why now this is the map of the countries which are actually either doing some research or developing proof of concept or started their pilot project of their digital currencies. And you know, China, now the digital yuan is the most progressed digital currency. The advantages and the disadvantages of digital currencies will be another topic, but it should be in the map of the evolutionary system of the crypto, because they will affect the crypto markets for sure. And this is actually, that map was not just as a reaction to the cryptocurrency ecosystem. In my humble opinion, it was a reaction to this slide, where we see the giant firms, the monopolistic firms, now developing their own payment system, their own fintech ecosystem. In the first time for the human history, a firm declared that, oh, we will print our own money. We can use fancy words, we can use fancy labels, but I mean, Libra project was revolutionary. Everyone should accept that. Not from the perspective of the crypto, from the perspective of the previous map. Because so far, as I have just mentioned, the production of money, the supply mechanism is monopolistic for fiat currencies. Crypto is decentralized, so that is an interesting thing for many centralized authorities, but this is something else. This is indeed targeting the share of money production. If the giant firms coming together with the existing users and with, of course, all of their technological power and the user databases, if they can produce their own digital currencies, then what will be the need for the digital central bank currencies, right? So this is a very challenging, very important question. That's why these three are actually coming and rising together. It is not a threat to another one. So they will live together. Because their fundamentals are different, but hopefully the living together thing will not be that much competitive, but instead collaborative. Then, of course, the hot topics. I mean, the previous presentation was also about a centralized exchange, and there are many presentations about centralized exchanges, so I will, of course, pick my words carefully, but you should understand the nature of centralized exchanges in this context. They are very important. They are the #1 platforms where many users outside of the crypto ecosystem are entering the ecosystem. With their easy-to-use products, with their easy-to-earn products and their strategies, I mean, they are indeed essential. And they will stay all the time there. But there's another function which might be forgotten. So they are constituting a bridge between the users with less information about crypto and the ecosystem which has lots of technical information, lots of financial information. So there is a barrier of entry for an early user to adapt in the crypto ecosystem and to its strategies. So the central exchanges are very, very important there. But of course, I mean, we are talking about the issues between FTX and Binance since a while because of some obvious reasons. So let's also see what's going on and what can happen in the forthcoming weeks and forthcoming months. First of all, this is the actually the assets reduction from FTX. You can see how rapidly it was, which shows us the risk attitude and the risk dimension of centralized exchanges. This is another striking picture, I believe. This is by W3E Blockchain. So this is the actually effect on ecosystem of the media coverage, not only media coverage, but we are thinking that, oh, if the media is covering this issue, it might be like just a popular issue. No, it is essentially affecting, it will change the ecosystem, it will influence the ecosystem, starting from these firms or these institutions. So that is an important remark, I believe. And not surprisingly, if you check the social trends, in the last 7 days, everyone is talking about exchanges and then wallet. So knowing, Googling about wallet is actually maybe the only beautiful thing what happened within the recent 2 weeks. Well, this shows that what is the reduction in the all centralized exchange balances. And this is what's going on in decentralized exchanges. So you see that the reduction of that assets, with lots of majority of them actually switching to decentralized finance. And that will be the end of the slide for you, an invitation for thinking about what to focus on. I believe that no one should forget about the fundamental principle. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of the cryptocurrencies are there because the existing monetary mechanisms should be updated. Thank you.